Hi guys, Paul Pluta channel. Today I'm doing a paid review, and this is one for Christian. And Christian says, "Hi Archie, excuse my English. I'm not a native English speaker. I just sent you some money for advice and a review. I would like to buy a Rolex DateJust in stainless steel. I like the reference 16013 and 16014. I prefer a dial in champagne, rhodium, or blue. It can be Jubilee, bracelet, or without. I have no preferences in terms of bracelets." And he's got a few questions there. So let's before we go into that let's have a bit of a talk here. Okay, obviously the 16013. Now, basically a little bit of a DateJust education clip. The DateJust itself there, they started off in recent times. Probably the most common is the 1601. 1601 could be two-tone, it could be steel with white gold bezel, and it could be solid gold. They then added the last, so it went from a 4-digit to a 5-digit reference code. And when it went to a 5-digit, it had an acrylic plastic glass. That's the glass. And it also gained a quick set date. They went to the quick set date mechanism. Now, 16013, that signifies two-tone, yellow gold, steel. That 16013 is yellow gold two-tone with steel. 16014, that signifies steel with white gold bezel. So obviously the champagne dial, they only really do the champagne dial if you've got a two-tone. They don't do it with the steel. Okay. I must say I'm not a very big fan of buying head only. I think if you're buying a DateJust, you definitely want to get the bracelet. Even if the bracelet's not in fantastic condition, you still want the bracelet. I'm very, very reluctant to recommend buy the head and don't worry about the bracelet. I think the whole point of a DateJust or any of these Rolex sports steel watches is the bracelet. So I'm very hesitant not to buy something without a bracelet. That's my opinion there. Let's have a talk there. You also say, I have no preference in terms of bracelets. Well, I think you mean Oyster or Jubilee. Strangely enough, when the watches were new, the Jubilees were slightly more expensive than the Oyster bracelets, but now the Oyster bracelets are actually more desired than the Jubilee. Now, you got a few fucking questions. Now my fucking questions. No need to get angry here, Christian. No need to get angry. Number one, would you go for Romans, Arabics, or just indices? Now look, my honest opinion is I would go for Romans or Arabics. The just indices themselves, that's probably the least desired dial. I think Arabics or Romans. Arabics, of course, is the normal numbers. Romans is 11111 XI. You know, that's Romans. Personally, I think Romans or Arabics is quite nice. Indices, look at it. It's my personal preference would be Romans, Arabics, and then indices. It depends on the watch. My advice is go for a really sharp. You want a case that hasn't been fucking over badly polished. That's right. The most important thing when you're buying one of these DateJusts here would definitely be the condition. So instead of saying, oh no, I must have this or must have that, I would be looking at the deal and the condition of the case. I think that is far more important than being such a stickler for a certain dial. So case condition and condition of watch far more important. Number 2, in terms of price, what should be reasonable for watch with and without Jubilee bracelet? Final price including VAT and import taxes. Well, I don't exactly know where you are. DE is your email extension. That's, what's that, Germany, Deutschland. Look, what should be reasonable? I would say my best advice is, if you're in Germany, I would probably be inclined to buy that sort of piece from a German dealer. Develop a bit of a rapport. Go and have a look at the pre-owned Rolexes there. That way you're probably not going to get snagged with import duties or taxes like that. It would be included. So, yeah, I would sort of say the best thing you can do is jump on Chrono24 and have a look. I wouldn't be buying anything without a bracelet. You really want a period correct bracelet, because it's such a bitch to try and find a bracelet later. I think that's really important. I can't stress it enough. Better off to spend as much as you can to get the best example you can afford. You don't want to go cheap and then adding a bracelet, adding box. That's just going to be a fucking hodgepodge of incorrect bits put together. So, no, I wouldn't really do that. Number 3, or would you suggest a different DateJust reference instead of 16013, 16014, or one with precious metals? Well, look, I don't know if I would say there's anything wrong with that reference. That reference is kind of a late 70s up until the late 80s, when they actually changed over to sapphire crystal. And my honest opinion is, I've owned quite a few of these DateJusts. For me, the plastic glass ones, unless it's a sports Rolex, I tend to say, get the fucking sapphire. So the 16013 became the 16233, and it became a 16234. So I really, my honest opinion, I'd be going for sapphire. I would even go as far as to say I would probably go for sapphire no holes case variant. I think they went no holes with the X serial number. That is where I would be heading myself. That's my opinion there. I would be heading to that. I'd be heading to that sort of situation there. I think that's the better way to go. The other thing is too, they then changed to 116233, 116233 and 116234, which got the improved bracelet. Now, the other thing is that these are all 36 mil. Then they went into DateJust 2, and which was a 41 mil, and then they changed the profile of the case to make it DateJust 41. Now, I think those are a more modern size. 36 mil is possibly a little bit small in today's kind of standard there. Just be aware of that, because it's, yeah, I think that's kind of important to go with there. Precious metal, there's nothing wrong with steel. I really love steel. I think steel is a very good material to get the pieces on. If you're, look, whatever model you're looking for, I would seriously say to you, jump on Chrono24 and have a look. I'd try and buy one from a dealer within your country. If you're in Western Europe, German dealers should have that. They're not that fucking tricky to get. They're not that hard. That's what I would be inclined to do. It is a great watch. I think a Rolex, it's a fabulous watch there. I don't think you're going to have a problem. So my honest opinion there is to go for it. I would definitely go for it. So yes, I think the DateJust a great model. Little bit bit small. What do I think of the future potential of that piece? I don't think they're going to really rise up that much. And I say that because they're 36 mil. They're a wee bit too small. And I think that's the biggest hindrance, is that the DateJust went to DateJust 2, then DateJust 41. They fucked up the model ratio there. So whereas they only did 36 and it was very clear cut, those days are gone. But I would have to say DateJust is still a fabulous wristwatch to get. Not a problem at all. Fabulous watch to get. Fabulous watch to get. Buy it for yourself. Not really investment potential, but I wouldn't be buying one without a bracelet, because it's going to be very hard to match up the exact year with your watch. Just get the whole fucking caboodle complete. Don't fuck around bits and this and bits and that. That's the wrong way to go. So there you go, guys. That's my advice. Tell me what you guys think. Put a few comments below, and thank you, Christian, for the paid review.
I'm only signing it because it costs nothing. So this is the congratulations to everybody.
Guys, it's really dishonest to jump into bed with garbage. It's really dishonest. It's really dishonest. I mean, I've been approached hundreds of times by shitter brands. I said no. I said no. No shitters. No shitters. So just remember that when you're picking your YouTube gurus, don't always go for the one who everything's wonderful, everything's great, because it ain't the case. It ain't all fucking wonderful. Oh, and don't forget, fuckaroonies, like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends. And don't forget to mention the Archie Luxury Travel channel. That's where I'm doing live shows, fuckers.